This is Uncle John once again, your marriage counselor. We want to take people out of the Dead Sea in marriage. And to do this, we must ask ourselves one question. Why get married? Many people, if you asked, will come with various ideas. One will say it is because of sex. The other one will say it is because of companionship. Another one will say because of the children, security, status, and many other things. But let me tell you for sure, these things you can get them even without getting married. To answer these questions, we must go back to the unique book of God called the Bible. He who started the marriage has secret answers of this. We have realized that what did he do as the first thing to get you the unity of man and wife? The Bible says in the book of Genesis that God found a man to be lonely, and he decided to eliminate the loneliness. To eliminate that loneliness, he created a woman. The fact that we have today is how then does the loneliness bring disasters? If the loneliness was supposed to bring happiness, to bring union, to bring a deep union, apparently something must have happened between the way. And to find the answers in these questions, we must go back to the basis. We must find out what God intended, because for sure God used to visit Adam in the Garden of Eden. They used to have fellowship together, but apparently that fellowship did not satisfy Adam. And God said, we must get someone to remove loneliness in Adam. What type of a creation did Adam need to remove the loneliness? God would have created another man so that they could have fellowship, face-to-face fellowship. But God decided to have an agenda for Adam. And that agenda, the book of Genesis says that God intended to fill the earth, that the earth should be subdued by man and dominated by man. This domination could not come by man to man. It would only come by a woman and a man. God did put needs in man and needs in a woman. All those, God did it deliberately. There are ones which he did which are social. Others he did which are emotional. Others needs he put which are physical. Other needs are communication. All these, they are grouped in one as a deep union. Unless there is a deep union in these things, God will not have achieved his purpose. Today, let us see that deep purpose that God wanted between man and a woman. To find out the secrets of the deep union, we must know what God actually defined this deep union. And the book tells us that unique book of God will disclose many secrets. We find that the first thing that the book discloses, it begins from the book of Genesis. The book of Genesis says that a man and a woman were brought to this earth to subdue it and to make it to dominate the world. We go a little bit further and we find how did Moses describe that deep union. Moses said that the deep union of the Israelites, the nation of Israelites, was to make the heaven come down upon the people of earth. We go a little bit further and we find the people, the prophets. How did the prophets discuss about the union? we find the prophet Malachi. The prophet Malachi described that deep union as a covenant. We also come now to the New Testament. The New Testament describes that deep union in different ways. The first one is Paul. Paul describes that union as a mystery. That is in the book of Ephesians. He says that God had put mystery in human being. That marriage, which people call it marriage these days, that deep union has a different meaning in the New Testament. We go a little bit further and we find Jesus. How did Jesus describe that deep union? He described that deep union as one flesh. Let us see if all this is described in the Bible and something happens that things do not work out and people are in the Dead Sea. How would you come out of the Dead Sea? We are going to find out how we will come out in the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea can only be elaborated by three things, three personalities. Since the Bible involves God, God must be involved for you to come out of the Dead Sea. Since in the beginning, God involved a man should be also involved to come out of the Dead Sea. Since that loneliness of the man, God created another creation which is of a woman. A woman also must be involved to come out of the Dead Sea. We call this the cord of three ropes. We are going to browse further. In the next episode, we are going to browse what we mean by the cord of three ropes. I would request you to follow Uncle John as we browse in the next episode. What does it mean when you involve God, man, and a woman, three people together? We see how we can revive the Dead Sea marriage into a living marriage.